Hello everyone, this is Plunger Planet. I'm your host George, and welcome everyone to episode 17 of The Plunge. So on our last video, we were just coming back. As you can see, we thankfully had a pretty good comeback with 12 views compared to the last one being 2 months old and having 8 views. A very good, strong comeback, still growing. Still getting the word out on various social medias everywhere from Reddit to X, Twitter. And yeah, looking very good for a good comeback start. We got a lot to cover today, so let's jump right into it. Starting, of course, with the YouTube channel, still at 24 subscribers, and our view count is up to 313, looking very good over here. Onto our X, more or less the same, still just the one follower being our sub-sister, Taco Planet, and still at 40 followers, looking good over here. Jumping right into the sub, the main course, yesterday we were at 1,402 Plunger enthusiasts. I'll refresh the page real quick, and we can see, it'll load, here we go. We are now at 1,406 Plunger enthusiasts, up 4 plungers, very nice. So let's jump right into the price reporting for today. So, of course, as always, this is not financial advice. I'm not a plumber, I just like the token. And with that being said, unfortunately, Dex Tools had a little bit of issues with the percentages today. That's where you can see right in the top right corner right here, where it normally shows the percentage, it doesn't. However, for the actual percentages, we are down, unfortunately, down roughly 2%, as you can see from that small candle in the most recent daily. Honestly, not too terribly concerned about this right now, because as we're about to get into with Bitcoin hit a bit of a wall and it's now a little bit down. Nothing too crazy, just a small bump down. We're following as most RCCs do follow Bitcoin, especially the newer ones. So nothing too terribly to be concerned about here, my personal opinion. As long as we can keep the uptrend, we're still looking pretty. Mainly just hoping Bitcoin can break through that wall and continue to shoot up. Now, moving on to Bitcoin, again, full disclaimer, this is not financial advice, not a construction zone. I just love Bitcoin. And with that being said, pretty spread market-wise. Down, unfortunately, 3.51%. As you can see, it's the only red candle, I believe, like this entire week. We had a huge soaring week. But yeah, unfortunately, that red candle, but hopefully we hope it gets eaten up like these previous two. As you can see, these two previous candles, there was those 2 days of red, shot down. Those basically just, whales getting out. They thought, oh, this is the highest it's going to get, or, I just want my money. They left. Fair enough. It's crypto. People take profits. Is what it is. But as you can see, both those 2 days were very short-lived and then immediately followed by big jump sprouts that pushed us into higher all times. Hopefully this is the same case. It kind of looks like it is, especially if you look at the data cell, because it's a lot of mini whales, or if you want to call them shrimps. I guess we're all pretty much shrimps compared to whales. But a lot of shrimps, if you will, are buying, and then it's just a few big whales selling their current stashes, which is perfectly fine, because as pretty much is the case with all of us, we want to expand our wallet amount. We want to get more users into the system, and those whales selling their, hundreds of millions of cones, maybe even a billion, a few billion cones, that's perfectly fine. We want to see that, because, one whale selling his 1 billion he got from the original, minting, back, when one cone was, gave you a free billion Bitcoin. Some of those guys are still holding, as we approach all-time highs, a lot of those guys are going to say, shoot, I didn't think this was anything, I'm going to, sit here and, take the free cash that's been given to me. And you can't blame them for that, by all means, if they're sitting on, a billion Bitcoin, that's well over, what, like $800 now? I could be wrong about that, but it's quite a good bit of money, and yeah, you certainly can't blame these gentlemen for just wanting to walk away with it. So completely understandable, just taking some profits, and we love to see that for them. Congratulations to the sellers and buyers, but of course we want to expand the market. So while it is unfortunate to see a down day, nothing too terrible to worry about, especially just a measly 3.51%. Hopefully we can find another floor and continue pushing up. So finally, for the price review of the day, we of course have the king of all cryptos itself, Bitcoin itself. Now, before we get into Bitcoin's price review, quick word of the day. The word of the day is hype. Yeah, there's a bunch of weird coins called hype, but yeah, no. The word of the day is hype, because, we're back in action. Bitcoin's looking good, Plunger's looking good, Bitcoin is looking especially good. So there's a lot of hype in the market. So the word of the day is hype. If you're new around here, word of the day, how it works is check the comments down below this YouTube video. If nobody has commented the word hype and their Ethereum address, you can claim word of the day. Just comment the word hype as I typed it out earlier, or right here again, HYPE, just a simple word hype. and then your Ethereum address, and you will win word of the day, and I will send you 1,505 Plunger tokens for free. So, with word of the day out of the way, let's get into our final price review of the day, and that, of course, being Bitcoin. Not Bitcoin, Bitcoin. Bitcoin looking fantastic over here. Another pretty solid day, up 1.5%. But mainly, we're just looking at this weekly, this monthly, and this yearly, which is all extremely bullish. I mean, heck, you can look at the all-time and just see the extreme bull we were talking about. So, very exciting stuff. We're mainly going to see what Bitcoin does here, because this type of momentum, I mean, you're either going to look at continual upshots, a loading, and then maybe another upshot, or a downshot, which, I mean, we did have a few teases, like, for example, when we hit that 69,000 right here, it says 68,000, but I'm pretty sure it hit 69,000 on a few exchanges. You know, everybody was hyping, oh, you know, Bitcoin's hit, you know, it's all-time high again, we're going to the moon, and then there was that huge flash crash all the way down to 61,000. Again, a lot of people freaking out, thinking it's going to go right back down, but of course, bought right back up, continue pushing, and now we're all the way up to 63,000, our current new all-time high. So, what's it doing? Where's it going? What does all this mean? So again, of course, just like the previous two, it's not financial advice. I'm just a Reddit degen. But from looking at the charts, it's still fairly bullish, guys. I mean, if you want to look at it on the weekly, the monthly, the yearly, however you want to look at it, even the all-time, it's extremely bullish, very high up, but it's also extremely volatile right now. I mean, that fake out, you know, from 69,000 all the way down to 61,000, that was an entire day. I mean, heck, it actually looks like a few hours here. So yeah, that was in, you know, just a few hours, and you know, in that moment, a lot of people were fearing, are we about to go right back down to 50K and, you know, push lower? Of course not. You know, there's still the halving coming up. There's still a lot of hype in the market, still a lot of speculation, and of course, we still continue to push up and move forward. So overall, I'm still fairly bullish on Bitcoin, especially with the halving still only about a month, give or take away. It's funny, it said 34 days yesterday. It's still saying 34 days now. Again, they don't have a official date for the halving. It just kind of happens when it does. It's going to be sometime in April. We just don't exactly when in April it's going to be. But nevertheless, still very exciting stuff. Looking forward, what do we have to prepare for, and exactly how should we expect Bitcoin to act? Again, just expect high volatility, expect huge swings, and don't be surprised if it continues to push, because as it currently stands, with 63,000 currently being high and it's still gaining, wouldn't be surprised for Bitcoin to just keep going up, with the ETFs continuing to eat up more Bitcoin, and then the halving cutting the exchange of new Bitcoins in half. It's going to get very exciting very quickly, so just hold on to your Bitcoins if you can. Try to accumulate a little bit more if you can, and keep looking up for the sky, because Bitcoin's about to get real crazy. And that will do it for us today, guys. Pretty good episode, nothing too crazy, mainly just watching the small correlations with Bitcoin and Plunger, and then Bitcoin continue to push a new all-time high. Very exciting stuff, a lot of stuff in the works. And yeah, that will truly do it for us today, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, have a great rest of your day.